Hello, Johnny London here once again. Now today what I've got for you are these. They're switch mode power supplies and I bought them on eBay some time ago, sold to me as untested. Now untested, well that's a red flag, isn't it? We all know what that can possibly mean, and so today I'm just going to go through them all, hook them up one at a time, use my trusty multimeter and see if in fact any of them work. Now I got them very cheaply, so if one works I'll be quids in. That's all I need anyway. I bought them for a little project. There's sort of like an enclosure that you can buy that they all slot into, and you can add other things to that, and I've just got something that I want to make. But all I want to do for today is just see if these go. So while I've got my bench set up, I thought I might as well just quickly hook them up, and if they go bang, well then we can all watch them go bang together, can't we?
These top quality power supplies are standard Eurocard fitting 3U high. They're small, lightweight and very well regulated.
Now I've downloaded the PDF for how to wire these up, and I've got like a little bit of a loom that came with it, so I'm just going to check all that out and then, well, we'll let the mayhem commence.
The rear connectors take standard crimp sockets. And luckily this kettle lead panel came with everything. 2 fuses, both look okay to me. I've had a rummage and found a spare kettle lead. I pare back this wiring and begin to modify it to my needs.
Right, so after a bit of messing about, I've just simply reused what bits of wires that came with it. I've obviously taken everything apart first and then reassembled it to my satisfaction, just for what I want for now. And I've stuck the probes in the back there, got my multimeter all ready to go. So I'm going to go and switch this on now and we can see what we get. Bang! Only joking. Right, I'm not seeing a green light. And I've got not very much on the output, so let's see when we adjust it what we get. Right, got almost nothing out of that, so at the moment that's not working. One down. Now I've just found one of these crimps is a bit loose actually. So I'm just going to tighten that up a little bit. Don't want to overdo it, so you never get the blinking thing back on again. That one's a bit loose as well actually. Should have checked that before, but don't want to spoil all the fun, do we? Right, so I'm going to try that again. See if we get any improvement or not. I'm liking what I'm seeing. So we've got 5.7 volts. These were very expensive power supplies back in the day, and we used to have them at a company I worked for. Okay, so that's 5 volts. I just want to see where that cuts out at. 5.2, 3, 4, 5, should go over voltage any minute now. 6 volts, still not gone. 6 volts it goes at. So I think that's working perfectly. So even if we don't get any more, well that's alright, isn't it? Now Now I know this is all a bit Heath Robinson. I've just rigged up the second one, and this one's a bigger one, as you can see, and it's got 5 volts and plus and minus 12 to 15 volts. So we'll just test the 5 volts first. I've just stuck the probes in there for the meter, and we'll see how we get on. It's only the 5 volts that's got the over voltage protection to worry about. So we'll go and switch that on and see if we get any green lights. Now, as you can see, we've got 3 green lights for this one, which is a good start. So if I set the first one, it's at 4.98 volts, 5.5, well, it's not tripping out at all. So if I bring the over voltage protection in, it will trip out at some point if it's working properly. And there you go. So that's good. That's working correctly as it should. I'm going to move the probes now and test the other 2 voltages. That's working beautifully. Goes all the way up to 16.5 volts and all the way down to 9.8 volts. Leave them set on 12. Happy so far. That one goes from minus 10 to minus 16.3. Leave him set at 12.
Not a dicky bird out of this one.
Well, looks like that's our first dead man, I'm afraid.
It's time to make up a bit more wiring. Crimps at the ready.
Right, so what I've just done there is these last 3 power supplies, they work in a slightly different way to the first 3. They're not mains to 5 volts or 12 volts. Their input is between 10 and 36 volts DC. They'd be useful things to have around on a boat actually. So what I've got to do is I've got to use the output of one of these that works. This one obviously has got a 12 volt output, so I'm going to feed the 12 volt output from that one, which is in turn deriving its power from the mains. That's going to feed into this one, and this one will give me 5 volts out, so then I should be able to test and see it's working. And the one after that, that's 5 volts as well, and the one after that, that's one of these ones with 3 voltages on it. So effectively I'll be able to turn the 12 volts from that into plus and minus 12 volts and 5 volts on that, if they all work. So I'm all ready to fire this one up, so let's see what we've got.
Working perfectly.
Well, this one's dead, I'm afraid, so what I'll do is I'll put him on the pile to fix later. Not really going to fix them because they're too complicated, but I might have a look inside and see if there's a fuse or something like that. Well, I've got a bit of a system going now because I've done all the connections on the connectors that need doing. I've checked they're all the same on back, these ones. Now this one, I hope it does work because he's got 3 different voltage outputs and it could be quite useful. But if not, well, you just have to go on that pile. We've got 3 working and 2 not working so far. So let's see what we get out of this one. Right, so the 5 volt output doesn't work, but I suspect when I put my probes in the right holes, we'll find that those ones do work. Yes, I've got good output on that one. Goes all the way up to 17.5 volts and all the way down 8 where it stabilises, 10 is a little bit wobbly actually. I suspect it's this pot.
I'll leave it set at 12 volts anyway. Now the negative output.
Right, what have we got here? Minus 13 all the way up to minus 18. It's tripped out. Right, so that one sort of partially working but not very good. So to sum up then, I've got 3 dead power supplies and 3 working power supplies, which is about as good as odds as you could realistically expect from an unknown purchase from eBay. Unfortunately, the ones that work, well, 2 of them are the mains ones, which are the ones that are most useful to me, and crucially this one that's got the plus and minus 12 and the 5 volts, well, that's the one I really wanted, so I'm happy. See you next time.
Well, not a resounding success, but these 3 will do for now. And you never know, I might even get around to fixing these.